Hey guys, Mr. 3D Hero here. In today's loadout video, I'm bringing you a loadout that focuses on basically shredding. It's going to focus on turning your enemies into Swiss cheese or giblets, and it's more of a fun loadout, something for you to sit back and enjoy, and also try out something not familiarly known with many players, but also try out a specific weapon that is kind of odd, and not specifically designed for pilot play, but more designed for anti-titan play. So sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. So this loadout I like to especially call the Shredder loadout. It's quite messy, but it's also quite fun, and it's a loadout that can be used for pilot versus pilot, attrition, or even LTS. It's designed for basically anything you want, but it does have a learning curve to it, and you need to learn how to master the main primary weapon, and also learn how to be quite nifty on your toes. So staying out of danger and just being everywhere at once without being hunted down and being at major disadvantage compared to other people who be using other weapons that are more effectively designed for taking on pilots at close, medium and long ranges. So let's go into the loadout. The class we're going to be using is AWOL. Now AWOL allows us to be offensive and defensive, but I only chose AWOL specifically for LTS. Now if you're playing LTS, the AWOL will be quite effective with allowing you to grab a battery, but also allow you to put up a defensive area when you know an enemy pilot may be coming. So if you're in a tight area and you know an enemy is coming, you get a battery, you can throw that down, and then you can switch to your secondary or use your main primary, and you can kill them in a quick amount of time. Also, it's also quite effective because it allows me to be offensive and defensive, but the one thing that allows me is that my main primary weapon, that's the SMR, it will allow me against other titans to be even more devastating. So I won't have to rely on my boost, that would be, say for example, amp weapon. Instead I can use my AWOL. And when I don't have my titan just of yet, I can use my AWOL plus my SMR, that's great anti-titan weaponry for those that don't know, and be as reckless and destructive as possible to them. Thus also probably allowing me to destroy them and get my titan as quickly as possible. Now our primary weapon now, like I said, is the SMR. Now the SMR is a anti-titan weaponry when, well, in many ways it's more of a primary weapon, but it's an anti-titan weapon, if that makes sense to you. This type of weapon, it has terrible aim, and if you don't aim, if you don't lead your shots in a direct area, you'll have a horrible time with using this weapon. I find that if you're the type of person that wants to be using a secondary weapon, the SMR is a great weapon for using it against titans. But if you're the type of person that wants to use the SMR as a primary weapon, there are quite a few things that you have to learn about the weapon. One of them being the fact that, like I said, you have to lead your shots. Compared to all the other weapons that are kind of like hit scan, this weapon is more of a projectile based type weapon. And you need to, like I said, you need to make sure that all your shots are always being led. So instead of aiming at where the person's going to be, or aiming at where the person is, you need to be aiming where the person may be instead. Doing so will allow you to kill them within, say, 2 to 3 hits, because that's how powerful the weapon is. But if it's the type of weapon that you don't feel that's going to be quite as effective as possible, go load yourself up into a pilot versus pilot match, or even an attrition match. Upgrade the weapon until you get some nice decent perks, and then try it out again. And try it out without ADSing. That's one of the main weaknesses of the weapon. Don't ADS with the weapon. Just hit fire with the weapon. The only time I recommend that you ADS with the weapon is if the person is standing still, if the person is at a very long distance and standing still, or if there's a titan at long distances that you know you can take them out. A secondary now could be the P2016. It's a great little pistol. It's a simple backup weapon in case things go south. Now, for example, if you're in LTS and you're playing on a certain map that requires you to get a battery and you know an enemy player will be coming, throw down your AWOL and then switch to your secondary weapon, the P2016, and not only is it fast, quick and nifty, it kills quite impressively fast if you aim for the head and then do 2 body shots. But like I said, it's one of those weapons that's great for taking on multiple groups of enemies in a enclosed area. Not too great to the point of where you'll be racking up a lot of kills, but great in, like I said, sticky situations where you know your main SMR weapon has run out of ammo, or you know for the fact that you're getting chased down by enemy pilots, or if you know for the fact that the main SMR weapon isn't working out as intended, you can always switch to P2016. That's quite effective as well. Your boost now is going to be extra battery, This is going to come in handy for your Titan that is called Ronin. And the reason behind this is that it will basically give you an extra layer of shield to be even more deadly and effective. But the thing is with extra battery is that you have to be aware of when to use it and how to use it effectively. Extra battery, although it allows you an extra shield, that extra shield can be stripped down quite easily against players that are using Tone or Legion or Ion. If you want to be effective with extra shield, you need to know how to properly balance it out with Ronin, and I'll probably go into that a bit later. Your ordnance now will be Arc Grenade. This will basically allow you to stop Titans and pilots for a few seconds, and this is great for allowing your SMR to finish them off quite quickly, and great for using your AWOL plus SMR plus Arc Grenade all into a combo to make it even more of a pain to deal with, but also quite effective as well for those that want to overall upgrade the SMR weapon and be even more lethal on the battlefield. Your pilot kit now is going to be Power Cell. This will basically allow you to recharge your main class perk ability at a much quicker rate. And your second one is going to be Kill Report. This will basically allow you to know where enemy friendlies have died and where enemy players have died as well. And lastly, your Titan's going to be Ronin. Ronin is going to allow you to be all out, quick, lethal, and tear up pilots in a quick amount of time. And this is where, like I said, the extra battery part will come in. Your Ronin now, with extra battery, will be even more lethal. And if you're the first person to drop using Ronin with extra battery, it'll become something quite unstoppable against other pilots until about mid-game, where other Titans start to drop. So let's go into the main gameplay. When using this loadout, I found that it's incredibly hard to use the SMR if you've never been familiar with it. Like I said before, the SMR is great for taking out other pilots and great for taking out Titans, but they're only great if you know how to master them and how to use them effectively. I've learned that to use this weapon you need to stick with your teammates, because there'll be many situations where against 1v1 situations you won't always win. And one thing I've noticed with the weapon is that when you hit by the weapon, it feels a bit out of place unless you put something like Gunrunner on it while you're moving. If you want to be really effective with the SMR, I recommend that you stick with your teammates as much as possible and try to stay out of as much action as possible. Now when I mean stay out of action, I mean don't be on the front line. Be kind of the middle ground. Try and support your teammates and try and be a spotter from long distances. Now if you play on Angel City, for example, there's a little courtyard near one of the main spawns area. Ideally, I would be kind of hanging either down below or on the roofs, spotting players and such. Doing so will basically allow me to get the first catch on them, and if I lead my shots perfectly, I'll be able to finish them off within a few shots and then turn them into meaty giblets. If that's not your playstyle though, you can be aggressive with it, but like I said, I also recommend that you play around the SMR until you know the pros and cons behind it. But being aggressive with the weapon will require you to be kind of more sneaky with it. And I found that being sneaky with this weapon is possible and a lot of fun, but it also puts you in a lot of danger, because although the SMR is good, players are using the alternate or even the flatline or even the R201 will have a much bigger and better advantage on you. But the one advantage that you have is that your weapon is so incredibly powerful that it can finish off players within 2 to 3 shots, depending. And now for up your AWOL, this will basically allow you to soak up damage and dish out even more damage, making it, I think, a two-shot weapon. It becomes that even more powerful. In a way, this class is more designed for taking on practically everyone, Titan and pilots, if you play it right. But it requires a lot of planning and a lot of playing around. And you may see me in this game being really aggressive with the weapon, but that's because I played around with this specific weapon a lot. I've lost a lot of games, but I also won a lot of games. So you need to kind of play around with this weapon until you understand to the point of how to be incredibly effective, and also use it to the point of being a major team player. Because generally, any weapon in the game, you could be ranked top quite easily if you know how to master that weapon. Now, when it comes down to Titan play, it's quite simple. All you need to do is go around and clean up as much as possible. Now if you're playing attrition, I would recommend that you use your extra battery on your Ronin and then hunt down as much pilots as possible. Use your main sword ability to take them out as quickly as possible, since that's kind of a one shot and it has quite good range. I recommend that you don't use your shotgun against pilots unless they're in an area that is unreachable from your sword. Do that and clean them up as quickly as possible. Stay away from engaging Titans until there's no more pilots within that area that the Titan is moving around. Try and single out that Titan, because any Titan that you go up against, they're going to be quite a major problem to deal with. Specifically, even Legion on his own. He may be easy and he may be slow, but he's quite dangerous to face one-on-one using Ronin that doesn't have a lot of advantage against Legion. And even if you have the extra shield, Legion can strip that down quite easily. So, if you want to be effective with Ronin, try and single out pilots, and try and single out Titans. That's what I tend to do. I try to hunt them out, single them out from the pack. Then, when they're not looking, use your main primary weapon. Fire at them as much as possible. Then use your sword and take them out and start hitting them as much as possible, since your sword does a bit more damage compared to what a normal Titan's melee would do. When they start to turn around and they start firing upon you, this is where you want to phase shift behind them. Hopefully then you can reload and have enough time to fire some more shots, and then keep repeating this process over and over again until you get them. Do remember though, that if things don't go as planned, use your sword and back away. Even use your electric smoke if you have to basically get them off and stop them from advancing from you. At this point now, if you use your electric smoke, this can cover your ground, make you disappear for a bit, and replan your attack of how you want to attack them. But do be aware that you don't want to go in as Ronin and generally attack a Titan that's in a group. That's basically suicide. Unless that is your plan and you have nuclear ejection, then that could play within your favour if it pulls off correctly. Lastly though, do remember that you do have your arc grenade, so if things don't go as planned, use your arc grenade to slow down Titans and pilots. This will allow your SMR to take out pilots at a much quicker rate, and allow you to freeze Titans as well in a short amount of time, and allow you to take out your AWOL and then use your SMR to even dish out more damage. Now I'm not entirely sure why this primary weapon is an SMR, since SMR, like I said, was designed from Titanfall 1 to be an anti-Titan weapon, but I'm not going to complain. It's a great weapon either way you look at it, but like I said, it has quite a skill to learn around it, and it's not really designed for pilot versus pilot. It's more designed for pilot versus Titan. But it can play both ways if you know how to aim and you know how to practice and you know how to master it within your own time. So that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. This loadout is more designed for those that want to just kick back and have fun. Try something out that they've never tried before. Try something and also learn how to master a specific weapon that not many people will use because of the disadvantage it has, but also use it because of, if you can master this weapon, it practically means that you're one step closer of mastering the majority of other weapons. Because this weapon here isn't easy and it's not designed for all players, but it's designed for those that want to challenge themselves and have a specific skill within the game. If you learn how to use this weapon, you'll be no short to learning how to master the EPG or the Cold War or even the Soft War, for example. It's just one of the learner steps that you have to take. But for those that are not used to it, by all means don't worry about it. Just play with SMR and use it against Titans until you get a bit more comfortable against pilots. So that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then leave a like for more, or not, just leave a dislike. Also comment in the comment section saying what you liked about the video, and maybe give me a loadout that you may want me to do, as by all means I'm happy with taking on different people's opinions and taking on different people's thoughts on different loadouts that you would like me to try. Anything you give me will also help me with growing my channel as well. So thank you for watching, do subscribe, and I hope to see you again soon.